OdeeLoccSportsInfo here, back with another vid for you guys. Yeah, y'all hit that subscribe, like, bell icon so y'all can be notified of this real, because y'all know OdeeLoc keeps it real. Yeah, you guys, so I went back and I looked at the purses between Keith Thurman and Manny Pacquiao. And according to Dan Raphael of ESPN, Manny Pacquiao was guaranteed $10 million, right? And Keith Thurman was guaranteed 2.5. They both got an upside. I'm not saying they didn't get an upside, because they both got an upside. But look at the guarantees, right? Keith Thurman, he wanted $10 million from Crawford, though. He started off super high, right? $10 million. Pacquiao wanted $40 million from Crawford. Look at the numbers, y'all. Look. Now, look at what Manny Pacquiao is getting versus Errol Spence Jr. Because this is what's being reported. He's getting a guarantee of $5 million. So the last time I checked, let me get this straight. The last time I checked, 10 is higher than 5, right? 10 is higher than 5. So Manny Pacquiao was guaranteed $10 million versus Keith Thurman. And according to reports, he's guaranteed $5 million versus Errol Spence Jr. But Errol Spence Jr. is a bigger star. This is what I thought. This is what the fanboys be saying, right? Is Errol Spence really a star? Are they fabricating his numbers, right? Are they inflating his numbers, his pay-per-view numbers? Because it's not making no sense, y'all. It's not making any sense at all, right? Because Manny Pacquiao was guaranteed $10 million versus Keith Thurman. Now he's only guaranteed $5 million versus Errol Spence Jr. Mind you, Manny Pacquiao wanted $40 million from Crawford. So who is more popular? Who is more popular? Right? Because I'm confused now. Because Manny Pacquiao was guaranteed more money to fight Keith Thurman. So that would make Keith Thurman more popular, right, than Errol Spence Jr., right? That would make that fight a high-profile fight, right? Not like this was not going to be a high-profile fight, but Manny Pacquiao is only guaranteed $5 million, according to reports. He's only guaranteed $5 million with an upside. He got $10 million from Keith with an upside, right? He wanted $40 million from Crawford with an upside, right? So who is more popular? It doesn't seem like Errol Spence Jr. is that popular. Come on. It seems like Keith Thurman is more popular than Errol Spence Jr., right? Because Manny Pacquiao wanted more money to fight Keith Thurman than he wanted to fight Errol Spence Jr. And he wanted 4 times the amount to fight Crawford. Damn near 5, right? So who is more popular? See, what I think is happening is that the PBC is going around inflating numbers. Remember when Bob Arum said it? He said Sean Porter versus Errol Spence Jr. didn't do 300 and something thousand buys, right? It didn't do that. He said it did like 175,000 buys, something like that. But you know, the Spence fanboys, they went crazy. Oh no, Bob Arum, he's lying. But when he says something about Crawford, right, it's all facts. But when he says something about the PBC fighters and their numbers, he lying. See, I'm confused because Keith Thurman got 2.5 million. He wanted 10 from Crawford. Come on, man. But these guys not pricing themselves out of these fights. Of course they pricing themselves out of these fights. Of course. Right? And it doesn't seem like Errol Spence Jr. is even more popular than Keith Thurman at this point.